are going to continue our application development. And our goal is clear that we like to develop the bank application now. We have seen the how to write our base class, or I can say parent class, and the child class now, that is a bank customer. Also, you must understood how to override now. And even after overriding, how you can access your parent class method, that also you must have seen now. Now, something interesting, because and something which is very abstract, is something which is not available easily, and that is, what is that private data means here? What is the protected data means in the Python? And how do you define the public data? Do we have, because we don't have keyword like public, private, and protected, but can we hide some data? Is there any way by which you can make some data hidden to other object? Can we even think about like how you can stop overriding some method? Can we make something like do we have design like by which we can avoid the overriding of some method? Is it possible? Or some data attribute, can you avoid the overriding of some data attribute? The answer is yes, but not by writing the keyword like private or public. There's no keyword like private, public, and protected in the Python case. Then how you can define some data as a private data and some data as a public data? That I'm going to show you with a demonstration now. So here we have already written the a simple class, the bank class. Now same example I will continue to just make you understand first that how do you declare the, and I'm writing in the new cell so that we don't want to hide any, we don't want to override the existing code now, because here I'm going to write a new code and there I'm going to override by modifying some data. So let us modify some data. The first thing is I would like to modify this IFSC code now. This I will make it private. What I did now here, do you know? I'm just saying that IFS is a private data, which previously it was a class variable, and this class variable I'm trying to make it private. But how I'm saying it's a private now? So if it is a private means it won't be easily accessible to the object, right? So that is one thing which we are clear. So let us see like what happen if you define some attribute, and one of the attribute I have chosen here is a IFSC now. What happened? So let me even write the object of this. So the object which I already defined previously, and that is a bank object. So let us have one object only. Let us create one object of this and see what happened. And let us test one by one. No need to define all the attribute at one time. What happened if I just wrote here double underscore in the beginning and see what happened to IFSC now? Okay, so one by one, and I'll modify the code accordingly then. Firstly, I'm not able to see the attribute IFSC because I mentioned this as a double underscore. So IFSC is not available. Then what should I do now? I can now use a double underscore in the beginning, because here I should be calling by the bank app, which is our class name. So with the help of that, yes, I should be able to write. And here also I should write a double underscore in the beginning. So private data means it's okay, like it is not accessible outside the class, but it should be accessible to inside the class, right? That is what the private data should be. So let us see and how does it work. We are going to check it now. It is accessible or not. Oh, great. See, obviously, like the declaration is saying that IFSC I'm able to access from the inside the class now, inside the method I'm able to access it also now. Now test using the object, can I access the IFSC? Previously I was able to access, right? So let us test now, can I access it now using the SDFC object, this double underscore IFSC, and what that's what attribute, right? IFSC, and let us print it now. See what happened. Oh, it's saying that bank app object has no attribute IFSC here. So remember, when you declare the attribute like double underscore in the beginning, IFSC, So that is invisible now. By default, it is invisible to the object also. And you're not able to override that particular attribute now. Once you declare double underscore in the beginning of certain attribute, maybe now right now I use a class attribute here. You may have data attribute, any attribute you try it and see what happened after that. So this is the way you can, hide this data here. Remember the way you can hide data, right? So now let us see something secret about Python now. I have said like, okay, like this particular attribute is not available to the object, but why it is not available? Can we make it available to the object? Let us go into deep of this particular object now. I'm going to show you the various attribute of this for that. So let me show you the dir of SDFC and what happened in the dir of SDFC. Here, okay, sorry, IFSC is said there is a bank app has no attribute IFSC. I will first of all comment this section now. And I'm trying the SDFC as a dir. Right, let us do that part now. Okay, so what I did here, I wrote IFSC here, and then I'm just trying to see the attribute which are associated with a SDFC. So what should we do now? Can you observe something interesting here? That the first attribute is already modified now. As you wrote double underscore IFSC, now that attribute is name is single underscore bank app double underscore IFSC. This is what happening now. Whenever you declare some attribute as a double underscore in the beginning, in that case, it is getting modified, right? So this is what the secret thing happening inside the class. And as a result, let me tell you the secret thing that with the help of this SDFC, I can now access it by using the same thing, the bank app and then double underscore IFSC. This is what the modified thing. So let me print it now. Wonderful. This was the secret, right? The secret was like it got modified internally to protect that particular attribute. And this is what the private means in the Python. Let me tell you, the private in the Python and private in the case of other languages, there's a huge difference. So here by default, Python say that I have made the open source language, which is for everyone. Then why to declare some attribute as a private and some attribute as a public and some attribute as a protected. So Python is so, like open source and open, you can say the language is so easy and for everyone, it is, open for everyone, use it. Okay, so we are not more, language is not telling you to make some data as a private, only when you really want to avoid certain things as a attribute to stop overriding certain attribute. You don't want some accidental changes should happen to certain attribute, then only you declare as a double underscore. Otherwise you will not see in the code anywhere in the application that we are using some such kind of attribute like double underscore in the beginning. Very rare case we are using such attribute now. But yes, let me know it is possible. It is possible in the Python to write some attribute with a single underscore. Single underscore in the Python, we say here it is a protected. But then here protected and public, you won't see much difference here. It's just like, you don't want to write, those, you just want to protect certain attribute in by just changing, by putting some underscore in the beginning. That way you are protecting data. But again, in Python case, mostly the data is available to all as per the object variable or class variable. That is the way only data is available. The significance of declaring double underscore in the beginning is you can simply avoid overriding. How? Let us see. Now you wrote this info method now in this case. Now let me try to show the example of overriding this info method. Now this one, this I wrote it, right? In this case, I will do what? Now I will make this info as a double underscore in the beginning. Info as a double underscore in the beginning. And here also, okay, now here I will just remove this part, or I'll just comment this part. Let us comment this part, right? And just try to, okay, here I'm writing the double underscore now. What happened? I am writing the same method name. So what should happen now? It should overwrite, right? Like when I'm writing the same method name, it should overwrite. That's what the Python says. But let us test now what happened. Okay, let me call this also. Firstly, I'll get an error that I don't know what the info is, right? But then if I want to access it, like how we are going to access it. For that, let me show you the dir of customer one, and just let me comment this section. See the modification. What happened now? Something interesting you can observe. Bank app IFSC code, it got modified. Bank customer info. Now you can see it got one more attribute called bank customer info. This is a new attribute. Observe this attribute now. There's a info attribute which is the bank. So let us, okay, let me like both the code should be tested. Here I need to modify this also. This also, as well as this one also. Then only I will able to see the differences. Yeah, now you can see both. So now one more attribute, because previous code I did not run it. That's why this was not reflected. Here you can see there are two attributes now instead of one attribute. One is the bank info and another is bank customer info. So you got two attribute automatically with the name of the class now. So now this is the attribute belong to the parent class, and this is the attribute belong to the child class now. Automatically it is done. You did not write any code for that. This is what the automation, everything is automatic here. There are a lot of things what we see in the Python case is magic. Why? A lot of things happening internally. We are not even aware like how the things are happening. And that's why it is called as this language is a high level language. When you say high level language, we don't go into detail like how the things are, how the memory is allocated, how the memories, how the peripherals are working in the hardware part. We are not checking anything which is there, which is the internal related to the memory references and all those things. It's all automatic here. You just simply say whatever you want to do it now. You can see now how the things are there. Now you can try to access the info method of both. Now you'll get the access to, you don't require to call this also. Let me tell you, this is not needed. Even you don't write it, this will get, you'll get access to both the info method now. How? Let us write it for the customer one also, but you have to say now single underscore in the beginning. So for this, for getting the information of bank, you have to write this way. So single underscore, and then for getting the access to the customer, you will require to have another info. This is the way you have to access now. Customer one, by the same object, I am able to access both now. Customer one, bank customer info, and here, okay, I have to check the parameter also. For the bank app, I think we don't have any parameter, but for the customer, yes, we have. So that's why we will require to modify the parameter case here now. So here there's no parameter, but here there's a parameter. Otherwise, you'll get the error here itself. Right? So let us see how does it work. And again, I will comment this section now, this one dir portion, and test it now. Great. So now you can see in this particular code, I have just commented this section and I am able to access both the info method. One which is defined in the bank application and one which is there written just now in the bank customer. So this way, what the benefit here is, like you do not require to worry about overriding now. Even you have multiple inheritors in this case, having a multiple base classes and all, you don't require to worry about the inheritance part here now, because all this is done automatically because you wrote a double underscore. In case you want that some attributes should not get overridden, use this particular magic. I will say this is magic, making some attribute private and not giving the permission to access to easily to any other class. Just make it double underscore in the beginning. That's it. And this you can do it for any attribute, maybe for the class variable, object variable, or local variable, whichever variable you would like to make it. Just write double underscore in the beginning. I hope you understand like how you can declare data as a private in the case of Python now. Now I would like to show you like finally, if you have the knowledge about object-oriented programming and now you like to develop the complete application, how you can develop the complete application. I'll show one demo here so that you understand that this is the way you can continue this, writing the other classes also, like employee class. You can also have some other subclasses like hierarchical interest. You can do it. That is a saving account class or current account class. So multiple thing can be done. Even like you can have the one more class like saving account or current account, and then you can make a subclass of the customer or subclass of the employee. So this way you can continue writing the other classes and try to access the parent data whichever is already there. So I'll show one of the demo here. I have several example, but I would like to check whichever is easily available now. So I must have written this. Okay. It got shifted to some other file actually. No problem. Okay, so what I'll do, otherwise I will show like what you can do further here. You can create your menu also, and then I'll tell like this is like a one assignment for you also. I'll show like how you can create a menu here. And then imagine that you have this customer and you are asking the menu, okay, like to see the detail about the bank, how to see the detail of the bank. Okay, so that also I'll show you here. I will just do what cd python. Let me show this example. Most of the directories got modified. Okay, this got modified. It means no problem. Let me see the bank example. Bank, I have these are the example which are the okay, PYC is not there. Bank example, percentage load. See how to load it. You can see it now. Bank app example. I'm checking if I have already example. Yeah, here you can see I wrote something more, but then again, like here, what you see is like customer info and then info, both the things already shown to you.